somebody says a car is reliable, it probably doesn't mean what you think it means. There is two different types of reliability, and if you want to buy a car this year, you need to understand the difference. If you've ever done research on trying to buy a car and you've looked up the top 5 most reliable vehicles, you're probably confused as you looked at 5 different lists and there were 5 different vehicles on every single list. And you're wondering, how does this happen? How does the reliability data get so far off? It's not that the data is off, it's that there's a different definition of reliability, and depending on which one you're using, it depends on if the car is reliable. The first way people think about it is just pure reliability, which is how often does a car break or have a defect. You add all of those up, and the more defects a car has, then the less reliable it is. It doesn't matter if those are fixed or not. For example, if an engine has a 3% failure rate, it doesn't matter if they've replaced all the engines and called it a day, it still had a 3% failure rate, so that car is no longer reliable. The second way is ownership reliability, and I think this is how a lot of people actually think, which is if I'm buying a car today, what is the likelihood during my ownership that I'm going to have issues? And I think this distinction causes so many arguments, and I'm going to give a few examples to show what I mean. In 2022, the Subaru Ascent was considered the least reliable car in its class. Consumer Reports rated it a 17 out of 100. And there was a few issues, but one of the major issues was the car would catch on fire. Yes, it would literally randomly combust, and they told them not even to park them in your own garage. I think we'd all agree that's not a reliable car. Fast forward a year later, the 2023 Ascent was rated top 3 in reliability and was rated an 83 out of 100. Actually, if you look back today, the 2022 Ascent gets ratings in the 80s and is considered a greatly reliable car that'll last 200,000 miles. I think if you would have bought that car in 2022 during the recall, I think we'd all agree it was a reliable car. But post-fix, the ownership reliability of a 2022 Ascent today, or an Ascent today, is very high because they fixed the issue. The Ascent isn't the only example. We can look at the Toyota Tundra, we can look at the Ford F-150 Hybrid, or more recently, we can look at the new Chevy Tahoe and the issues they've had with their engines. All of these vehicles had issues. These issues were fixed and now are considered pretty darn reliable cars. So the real question is, what does the reliability mean to you? How many issues the car has had in general, or what are the chances that you're going to have an issue owning that car? I think that's the problem. I think a lot of people put too much weight on a recall, which is trying to fix an issue which is beneficial for everybody. Because there's 2 different ways you can approach this. The Subaru approach that within a year and a half, 2 fires happened and they recalled every single one of their vehicles. Or you can go the Hyundai approach that took them 5 years and 31 vehicles for Kia and Hyundai to catch on fire before they recalled 3.4 million vehicles. I think we should reward manufacturers for actually repairing issues and fixing them rather than hiding them under the carpet. What do you think? What is a reliable car to you?